Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the last half an hour day that has panning out to be an excellent start for the week. The bulls are having bears for lunch on the Lal Street. 322 points higher on the Nifty. It's a triple century. Virender Sehwag batting on behalf of Wolves. 23,671. In fact, we had seen a smattering of 23,700 on the Nifty as well. So the rally is deepening, it's broadening, and it's bringing more and more shares, more and more sectors under its watch. The Nifty Bank now up 1152 points thanks mainly to Kotak, HDFC Bank and ICICI Bank. The IT index has been a turnaround story. In the morning it was actually in the red, down 200 points. Now it's way back up 570. Let me just take a detour into the markets and tell you the kind of rallies that we are seeing. Look at IREDA. These are erstwhile favorites. 9.5% higher in the FNO space now, 169.5. You have a strong move coming into Piramal Enterprises, 2.5% higher. GAIL is 3.6% higher. In terms of other top gainers as far as FNO stocks are concerned, Policy Bazaar 5% higher. Futures of Hindustan Aeronautics have surged 5.3%. Power Finance Corporation, REC, stocks like Bajaj Finance are doing well, and record highs are seen on SRF, Bajaj Finance, ICICI Bank, Chambal Fertilizers, and of course our earlier favorite that we used to talk about a lot, JSW Steel, 1061. So this is the momentum that is in the sixth day. More gains are expected as bears unravel their short positions, which gives impetus to the bulls, and of course as we approach not only the end of the March expiry but end of the financial year. So lots and lots of very strong moves coming in. This is also the absolute right time to welcome Mr. Abhishek Basu Malik, founder and chief equity advisor at Intel Sense Capital. Namaste Abhishek ji, a very warm welcome, and what a wonderful move that is happening on Dalal Street. How do you see sentiment today?
I think it's obvious, first of all, good afternoon to all your viewers and you. It's obvious markets are doing very well, and my only sort of word of slight caution would be that today is the sixth straight up move day that we are seeing. So
yes,
typically on a quantitative basis, we've seen 6 to 7 days of straight up moves are a time when markets tend to take a pause. So you don't need to just jump in and buy whatever you're getting your hands on. Markets will give you an opportunity. We are getting back from the lows, so there's enough and more time to sort of get into the market and be sure of the kind of companies that you want to buy.
Okay, this is a wonderful advice to exercise a sensible round of caution as far as markets are concerned. Remember, the Nifty was at 22,900 on 3rd of March, and from then on we are now at 23,620 at least. So that's actually 21,900. So the rally is actually 1,700 points deep, and of that 300 points has come in today. So one has to be really careful. The strength in the Bank Nifty is dramatically higher. You look at Kotak, record high at about 2172. It's contributing 31 points to Nifty's tally. Reliance is contributing 36 points. HDFC is contributing 45 points. Abhishek, at this point of time, while you advocate caution, mainly 4 or 5 stocks that you are keeping on your radar, which you think will do well in the coming week, in the coming month.
See, instead of discussing individual stocks, I think it's more important to maybe talk about sectors or themes because that makes it a little bit more broad-based. I think, like you mentioned, banking, NBFCs, it's a very good space in terms of valuations. A lot of opportunities that are there in the private banks, in the larger NBFCs. So that's a very interesting space that I have been sort of focused on. Other than that, I think another very good place is to look at manufacturing, especially manufacturing, which is going to benefit from uh, the surge of development that is expected in Europe. So, if you look at what is happening in Europe, Europe is sort of dramatically increasing their defense spending, their power infrastructure spending. So, uh, if you look at European parentage companies or companies who supply significantly to Europe, uh, uh, those kinds of manufacturing plays are actually pretty interesting. Other than that, I think again another major theme that we are looking at is the softening of the dollar, and if that takes place, then a lot of domestic plays become much more interesting. So domestic consumption is also going to be a big theme going forward.
Okay, fair point. These are good talking points that you have suggested. Let's now take a detour into the market and inform viewers what actually is happening. A very, very strong advanced decline ratio right in the morning, and it's getting better and better. Now at the moment you have, when it comes to the National Stock Exchange, about 1800 shares in the green and 700 in the red. We tracked 19 indices for you. All 19 of them are in the green. The rally is led by the Nifty PSU banking index, up 3%. A strong move coming into stocks such as Bank of Baroda. Look at how State Bank of India is moving in terms of gains within the banking space. Up 3.5% at 778.4. The smaller banks are now leading the charge, where again there is this issue of liquidity of the stock. Central Bank is 4.2% higher at 47. Canara Bank is up 4.5%, 91.2. Union Bank at 127.5 has gained 4%. Bank of Baroda is up 3.4. Punjab and Sindh Bank, PNB, Indian Overseas Bank, all of them are adding to the momentum on the long side. Today is also a nice volume heavy day. If you look at the most active counters, you have BSE, which is unfortunately in the red, 2.5% down, but 2400 crores worth of shares have been traded. Reliance, about 2300 crores worth of shares have been traded, up 1.8. Kotak Bank is the showstopper, 4.5% higher, fresh record high, 2174. Abhishek, would you want to come in on Kotak Bank here? How do you feel markets reacting to this record high? This is 5 years in the coming.
Okay, so first of all, disclosure, we bought Kotak Bank in our funds last week. So it's been happy tidings for us. But yes, I mean, I think overall banking, especially the larger type private bank space, does look very interesting. The stock prices have been in a sideways movement for a number of years now. Whereas if you look at the book and the assets, it's been consistently going up. So there's no questions about the quality of management and how things have, how things are managed. Not only in Kotak but in all the frontline uh, private banks. So I think overall, not only Kotak Bank might be doing well today, but tomorrow it might be HDFC and then ICICI and etc. But point is that most of these banks are relatively cheap. They've not done anything for 2-3 years or more from a stock price perspective. So overall, and going forward this year, we are expecting at least between 1 to 2 rate reductions by the RBI. So overall, I think it's a very uh, good time for banking. April onwards, I think the beginning of the tax benefits that was given to the to the investors or to the public is also going to flow through. So that might also add to a little bit more leeway for these banks. So overall, I think it's a good opportunity for this entire space.
Okay, fair point. A 300-point rally on the Nifty, ladies and gentlemen, it gets better and better. So not only have we wiped out the stain of 2025, now we are back in positive territory, but we've come back in style, and it's the prey of the large caps that is doing immensely well on the Lal Street. Apart from banks, would you offer a view on Reliance at the moment, Abhishek?
Not really. I've never really understood the nitty-gritties of Reliance to have a very firm understanding of the either the business or the stock. Very difficult to comment.
Okay. Any view that you would have on defense stocks?
Prime, I'm actually pretty positive on defense, especially the ones where we are looking at investing both as a country and which has export opportunities. So a lot of these defense automation plays where we are doing unmanned vehicles, drones, anti-drone systems, those kinds. The normal artillery, etc. ones are already there. Then you have these shipyards, which are very interesting. So overall, yes, defense again is a theme. If I look at what is happening across the world, I don't think any country in the world is going to immediately look at reducing their defense expenditure, right? In fact, probably defense expenditure as a percentage of global GDP is going to go up because we are seeing more problems across the world cropping up. So if that is the case, then India is a good some of these companies are in a good place to increase their exports, and I think that is also in the plan for a lot of these companies. So it's not a bad sector to be in.
Okay. I see a lot of breakouts that are happening in the private banking space, and this I'm talking about in the mutual funds that are listed as ETFs. So HDFC Private Bank ETF is at a breakout in terms of price. You have a strong move that is coming in the CPSE ETF, and individual stocks are doing phenomenally well. Look at SBI. When was the last time we saw a 3.5% uptick on this one? From now on, Abhishek, how do you see the power space? Because summers have an early onset in North India. Strong buying happening in energy producers, in coal providers, and of course energy financiers. Where would your vote of confidence be?
My vote of confidence would be more in the coal and lignite, that space, providers. Two reasons. One, obviously, the offtake is significantly higher. Coal prices are going up, lignite prices are going up. The other is that globally we are seeing a move away from ESG. So there is a definite possibility of global funds entering into these quote unquote non-ESG stocks that they were sort of moving or they were shunning earlier. So you can actually see a move into some of these stocks in terms of large liquidity flowing in.
Okay, fair point. Anything in the present setup that you find interesting? How about JSW Energy? 3% higher, 576. NTPC is clicking a fine uptick. You have a strong move that is coming into RECL PFC. Any favorites?
I think all the stocks that you mentioned are doing well. I like NTPC, I like JSW. All of these stocks are quite interesting. They are likely to do well over the next 6 months to a year at least.
Okay. 313, and this will be also the right time to dip into the FNO zone and talk about the moves that are happening on the rollover space, because this will be a critical thing to look at. So top winners are stocks that were erstwhile high beta. You have Hindustan Aeronautics 5.6% higher, IREDA 8.7% higher, Policy Bazaar is going at an uptick of 4.6%. Where are the rollovers the highest? Okay, Manappuram Finance. Okay, let me just change this to monthly. Just a moment, please. Yes, okay. Now, the highest rollover so far is coming in on Manappuram Finance, now at record high, and already 60% rolls are happening on the long side. A view here, Abhishek, on maybe gold financing companies broadly after the underlying has hit a record high.
I think both, Manappuram, Muthoot are doing well. Manappuram is recently going through a, changeover of management. So that also sort of places them in a good position. Overall, again, a pretty good space. NBFCs, again, are likely to pick up. So I would be pretty positive on this space.
Okay, fine. So that's something to look forward to as far as the prices are concerned. Okay, there's a breakout, ladies and gentlemen, which is happening on Hindustan Aeronautics. My apologies. This is something that I have to mark. It's a 6 percentage point uptick, and traditionally the magnitude of the rally is a significant indicator of what is to come. Now this this uptick comes from 200-day DMA on HLL, so it assumes all the more significant. It's 41.29 and the all-time high is 5700, long distance away, but you must mention the price and the occasion as well as volume. So about 39 lakh shares on Hindustan Aeronautics has been traded for today. What else is moving with gains? I think we need to check SRF. This is at a record high, yes, and ditto for Naveen Fluorine. Not a record high, but a very strong move that has come in today. 41.98. The counter is the intraday high for the counter was 43.10. This is again headed towards a decent 52-week high. Abhishek, would you have a view on SRF and Naveen Fluorine?
Yeah, I mean, again, positive on both. Their refrigerant gas prices globally are moving sharply up. So, short to medium term, both of them are expected to do well. Naveen also has a lot of capex that is going to come through, so pretty positive on Naveen as well.
Okay. So let's look at the intraday high on the Nifty today, ladies and gentlemen. It is, just a moment, 23,708. Now we are in the last 13-14 minutes of trade. We are at 23,661. And this is a rally which is now in the 6th day of the making. The market has moved from 22,353 on 17th of March to 23,700. So it's an easily 1400 point rally here, and from the low of March 4th, which was 21,964, we have a nice 1600 plus maybe another 80, about 1650 points that the Nifty has appreciated, and now we are at the highest since what was the 31st December close. 1 second. 23,667. So Nifty is now positive for 2025. That's a very big relief at the moment. Fine. 320. The last 10 minutes are left. Abhishek, would you indulge in a BTST trade?
Not at all. I don't do BTST, so no clues.
Okay. Would you suggest a BTST if you don't do it?
See, my time horizon is slightly longer, so we do a lot of, even if whenever we are doing,
Yes.
trading, it's slightly longer term, or we do long-term investments. So very difficult to look at very short term and
Okay.
profit from it unless you're, wedded to the screen.
Fair point. You did mention that you had slipped into Kotak last week.
That's right. Yeah.
Okay. Was that the only purchase?
No, not really. We did buy a few more stocks.
Would you just elaborate on names of sectors?
So one of them was related to the coal lignite space that I talked about. So, feeding into the power infrastructure space. So that's one.
Okay.
Uh, we bought. Let me remember. We bought a. What else did we buy? We bought Pharma. We bought. So overall, I think bought another NBFC. So overall, that's the space that we are looking at. We bought manufacturing. Some were incremental buys.
Fair point.
Some were.
So Kotak is a name that has. Okay. What was the incremental buy?
No. So I mean, some of the stocks that we did were incremental buys. The rest were, where we.
Okay.
Were fresh positions. So one was a defense company. We brought back an infra play that we had sold earlier.
Okay. Perfect. Fine. 3:21. There are just 9 minutes left to trade, and there is this mad rush to buy SBI 782.80. What's the SBI volume today? Let's just see. About 892 crores has been traded on SBI. Is that a blue bar? It's not a blue bar, but of course there's a very strong breakout that's happened, and of course you have a good strong move coming into Hindustan Aeronautics that we've discussed. So amongst the top 5 traded counters, there is HAL and Mazagon Dock, which are very heavy on volume. HAL has 1682 crores worth of shares traded. Mazagon has 1381 crores worth of shares traded. And then you have from the railway space, RailTel here, RVNL here, 2.6% higher, and that's it from the railways. RECL, no, that's rural electrification. That's not railway. Okay, so this is how, ladies and gentlemen, the view is structured at this point of time. India VIX is also up 8.8%, and that's because you have one-sided option writing happening on the long side. So that is how it comes around as far as markets are concerned. 8 minutes left. Any observations that you have on the negative side in today's trade, Mr. Basu Malik?
Yeah, I mean, other than the fact that I think suddenly now everybody is going to sort of have FOMO and think that we need to jump in. I think that is the major challenge now, because we are seeing extremes of optimism, pessimism, FOMO, etc. When markets are going down, people are panicking. They're sort of just selling at whatever price. Same thing is happening. When things are going good, then everybody is buying irrespective of what is happening. I think we just need to temper our sort of emotions and understand the underlying stocks that we want to buy, and not pay whatever price that the market throws at us. Be a little bit discerning. I think that is the only caveat that I would have for investors.
Correct. So, what will you avoid even with a barge pole?
Not avoid with a barge pole, but I would be very cautious of looking at purely export-oriented plays like IT, especially IT now to me has two long-term challenges. One is obviously a weakening dollar. The second is how AI is going to impact, especially the IT services companies, is something that we need to really think through and see the implications. Because when I'm listening to the managements of companies, what they're saying is that there is a lot of efficiency that can be brought in by bringing in these AI tools. Now, there is going to be a trade-off between using AI tools to bringing their own productivity in terms of development, coding, etc., versus additional work from clients to deploy AI tools for business, right? So this both of these are going to go hand in hand. But we need to be a bit cautious in terms of the global IT services landscape, because I think if you look at the Accenture numbers, it's not very encouraging. And if US does go into a recession, or if US does go into some kind of a consolidation for a while, then one of the first things that gets chopped is discretionary IT spending. So we need to be a bit cautious on IT, I think.
Okay, and remember, ladies and gentlemen, this is look at Infosys. This is a very well injected word of caution. Infosys is down, and it's slipping to 1591. Today it's down about rupee 25, but nevertheless it has not participated even in a single day as far as this 6-day rally is concerned. The most recent low is 1546, it's thereabouts. So this is the caution that Abhishek wants to inject. We are also getting into the earnings leg of Q4, and that will be led by the IT stocks in terms of presenting first. There's nothing happening on TCS as well. Today, of course, it's flat up, about 1.1% higher. But again, the price that you see is something that we have seen in 29th November 2023. So, 1 full year plus 5 months, about 17-month low on TCS. And that's how it continues. Any views on domestic pharma, Abhishek? Anything that you like there? You mentioned that you did dip into the pharma space.
I think domestic pharma looks very interesting because we are seeing a couple of things that is happening. One is that post-COVID, I think there is a lot more of awareness overall in terms of whether people in the entire value chain, whether it's getting diagnostics done, hospitals, medicines. Now you have slightly. I mean, the Jan Aushadhi is picking up, which is the generics of Indian pharma. So overall, I think there is a lot more understanding and adoption of pharma in the domestic space, and there are a lot of players who are domestic heavy. In addition to that, there are players now who are getting into novel molecules for the first time. I mean, in India, we've never seen companies with their own patented molecules coming up. This is the first time we are seeing a couple of them, and I'm hoping that this is going to be a trend changer in the future. Last week we saw GLP-1 introduction into India by Eli Lilly. So again, more drugs probably will come in next year. Again, that will give a boost to the entire ecosystem. So overall, I think domestic pharma looks interesting, but you need to be cautious about companies where there is a large amount of sales to the US, because April 2nd, we don't know exactly what is going to happen. My doubt is we may not see much for the pharma space at least, but until we cross that bridge, we really won't know. So that's an open uncertainty or a risk point that still remains, because for a lot of these large pharma companies, exports to the US is a significant chunk of their revenue. So we need to be cautious about them.
Okay, Abhishek, with that, thank you so much for this lovely conversation that we had over the last 25-30 minutes. Have a good day, and here's wishing you a lot of greenery in the portfolio.
Thank you. Thanks a lot.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, we'll start wrapping up the market. What a day! Brilliant and a very decisive breakout that has happened on many indices, including the Nifty, the Bank Nifty, Financial Nifty, and mid and smalls. So a blowout that started with a gap up, and the gap up accelerated towards the day's high. It swallowed 23,500, it swallowed 23,600, and it hit 23,700 on the Nifty. We are closing somewhere thereabouts. So this is a reaction to very sharp short covering that the last round of bears are doing ahead of the FNO expiry. I think there would be a lot of enthusiasm towards Thursday. Remember, tomorrow is the end for Sensex for the month of March. Now, over the last 3-4 sessions, actually 6 sessions, the rally is so strong that we've turned positive for 2025. On the Sensex, on the Nifty alone, we've added close to 1300 points in the last 6 sessions. So while we are rejoicing this bounce, it does require a note of caution, and no point in unbridling your enthusiasm. Be cautious, but the sure telltale signs are there. All erstwhile high beta counters are now top on the buy list, like Ireda, Hudco, Rights, RVNL, IRCON, IRFC, etc. There is a rush towards PSUs of all kinds. We tracked 78 for you. 75 of them are in the green today, and a deep shade of green. The Nifty PSU banking basket is the top index gainer, up about 3.5%. All 19 indices are in the green. Advanced decline ratio is 3:1. So strength all around. And again, I say, as I have been saying for the last 20 days, there is still time to add a good equity diversified fund to your portfolio. Focus on large caps, they'll see you through. Thank you for watching. What a lovely day, and we'll be meeting tomorrow. Thank you so much.